Leaders who share their knowledge for the betterment of the industry. The most followed, retweeted, and liked mortgage professionals. 50 most connected mortgage professionals. Brought to you by Remen Wholesale.
Hi, I'm Carl Markman with Remen Wholesale. We're incredibly proud of our history of educating and partnering with the broker and banker community to prepare you for what's next. We've always been committed to same-day turn times on initial underwrites, which allows us to earn your business each and every day. We're happy to sponsor the following program.
Hello and welcome to another edition of National Mortgage Professionals, the 50 Most Connected Mortgage Pros, brought to you by Remen Wholesale. I'm your host, Rick Grant. With me today, Jason C. Frazier. He's the CIO of Mason McDuffie Mortgage, and he's one of the top 50 connected professionals in the industry. Jason, thanks for being with us.
Hey, Rick. Happy to be here. Thanks for having me on.
First of all, congratulations on being on the list. And my first question to you is, why is social media marketing so important to you and your business?
Well, connecting online is extremely important because, as you know, unless you've been hiding under a rock, it's an online world. So you need to be online. You need to be where people are at, where their attention is, and that's the new age of consumerism is online. So you need to make sure that you are there and you're everywhere. You're on social media, making sure that you're doing proper SEO on your website so you can be found for Google searches and whatnot. It's just extremely important. And you also want to make sure that the experience you're giving as far as communicating with your consumers or giving them processes and working with your company, you want to make sure those are online as well. As everyone knows that the mobile phone is now, the first screen that people are looking at. They're doing a lot of their searching on their mobile phones. So you need to make sure that you're designing everything for mobile first. So, it's just the way of, it's the information age, right? It's the way that people are interacting with each other. It's texting, it's Facebook Messenger, it's Snapchat, it's whatever. Everything's online. So you need to make sure that you're able to be found, because otherwise you're not going to reach the consumers, especially the ones that are coming up that aren't on the older generation.
All right, very good, Jason. But tell me, is this just a branding exercise, or has social media actually resulted in more business for your company?
Sure, yeah. So it absolutely is adding business for us. It is both branding and it is resulting in business for us. Obviously, you can get more bang for your buck on social media for advertising. You can do highly targeted audiences. You can do hyper-local advertising. So it's definitely great for branding and getting out there. A perfect example is, so we're heavily on Snapchat here at Mason McDuffie, and we've gotten loans from using Snapchat geo filters. So basically putting a geo filter around local events, like we have an Art and Wind Festival here that we did, and that resulted in loans. I've done them at major sporting events. Just anything where you're going to have a lot of people, and Snapchat is heavily used by it's a younger demographic, but it's also trending upwards. So we get a lot of benefits there. That's also resulted in us having partnerships with a new real estate agents. So, for example, I've connected with a lot of realtors on Snapchat, and that relationship and connection has resulted in them partnering with the company, so that now we're getting referral business from them. So it's definitely resulted from the consumer, a B2C standpoint, but also it's also helped on the B2B as far as referral partner business.
All right, now Jason, I know you're CIO, but I want to ask you how much time you spend on social media marketing and what you recommend for other loan officers in the company.
Yeah, so for me, it's part of my job. So I spend quite a bit of time on social media throughout the day. It's not just one, like I spend 20 minutes and then I'm done. It's kind of throughout the day. I have my own branding, which is the real estate CIO, and which I also promote Mason McDuffie through that as well. And I help out a lot of different real estate mastermind groups, marketing groups. A lot of crowdsourcing when it comes to helping with tactics and marketing and social media advice, technology advice. So it's really something that's throughout the day. It's not all day long, but it's a few hours a day. If you take it from early morning, I wake up at 4 a.m. and then don't crash until around 10 at night. So it's pretty long through the day. But But people need to understand, especially for a loan officer, is that social selling isn't something that is just going to happen. It's happening now. So as a loan officer, if it was me and I know social media the way I do, if I'm a loan officer and I'm 100% commission, I'm spending just as much time, if not more, on it than I'm doing on any other tactic. Now, again, it really matters where your audience is at and where you're getting your business from. But from a loan officer, if I want to reach the younger generation and I want to get top of mind and I want to start doing brand recognition for what I am as a loan officer, I'm spending at least a few hours a day on social media.
All right, thank you, Jason. Now, as CIO, I think this is a particularly appropriate question for you. How do you decide what to share on social media and perhaps more importantly, what not to share?
Yeah, so what I do and what I do trainings for agents and loan officers all the time, and what I always say is that you need to treat your especially social media, but your marketing in general, you need to treat it from the eyes of a consumer. So things that may annoy you or frustrate you or get you angry, posts and stuff that you see as a consumer or just as an individual, don't replicate that on your social media. I see people acting totally different than they would as a consumer. So I definitely would stay away from political posts. And obviously, this has been the season of just craziness for social media and political posts. So I definitely stay away from that and anything that's divisive, right? So I'd always want to have a positive flair, something that's adding value, something that people are going to find interesting. I use a 70-30 rule so that everything that you're posting on social media should be about 70% non-business related. So stuff about yourself so that they can connect with you as an individual and see you as a person, because that helps, form a trust or a bond from them. It's more of like getting a warm lead as opposed to someone that's just cold calling. So 70% about you, interesting value-added facts, and then 30% about business, and that's where you could roll into something about rates or new loan programs and things of that nature. Because if someone's following you on social media, they're following the person and not the professional. And if they are following you and know that you're a loan officer, they're going to understand what you do as a loan officer. So it doesn't need to be 24/7 about rates and loan programs and now's a great time to get a house and this and that, because that's not going to hold interest long term. If you're in this business for legacy, long term legacy, and creating lifelong relationships to create a huge sales funnel of business long term, then you don't want to turn off that audience with being salesy, in your face, rates, loan program. You need to add value, and you need to keep there.
All right, Jason, I want to thank you for spending so much time with us today. But one more question before we let you go. If you were talking to someone who is new to social media marketing, hadn't done much before, what would be your best tip for them?
Yeah, so my best tip, and it's a question that I get quite a bit. If you're getting new to online networking, one is you need to understand first where your audience is and where their attention is at. Is it Snapchat? Is it Pinterest? Is it Facebook? Is it LinkedIn? Wherever your book of business is going to be best built, that is where you want to start off on. But at the same time, as you go into channel after channel and area after area, you want to make sure that your branding and what your message is consistent across everything. So the same phone number, email address, tagline, stuff about you, anything, whatever it is on LinkedIn, you need to make sure it's the same on Twitter, and you need to make sure it's the same on Facebook and Pinterest and everything else, so that because you never know where that person's going to come into your sphere, right? So you need to make sure that they can find you easily, that they can that they're going to get the right phone number, that they're going to be get the right email address, get the right website. So you want to make sure that all that stuff is consistent and your branding looks the same across all channels. Now the content for each channel is going to be different. So people like to do kind of a what we call a shotgun blast of content, right? So each channel is different and they have different audiences. So people that are heavily on Twitter don't like Facebook type posts on Twitter, and people on Facebook don't like Twitter type posts on Facebook. So you need to make sure that your content is relevant for the audience that is on each channel. So you just can't do a shotgun blast of content and then just share it from channel to channel and think that you're going to get the same results. And like a shotgun, sure, you'll hit your target every now and then, but why not be precise and use a rifle approach to, for lack of a better term, for your marketing. So you make sure that you're laser focused on what you're trying to hit and the message you're trying to send.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I see why you're one of the top 50 in the nation. Jason C. Frazier, he's the CIO of Mason McDuffie Mortgage. Jason, thanks for being with us.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
And thanks to you for watching. Until next time, I'm Rick Grant for Mortgage News Network.
What's the ultimate measure of a wholesale lender? Commitment. Remmen Wholesale is committed to our broker partners. It's why we provide a huge educational platform offering everything from webinars to seminars to individualized training tools in the program you just watched. We understand that our role is to make you look great in front of your customers and referral sources so you can earn more business and increase your income. Find out more at RemmenWholesale.com.
This is Mortgage News Network.